Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a very stupid mistake that I made, and I haven't talked about this for a few months, mainly because I just didn't want to talk about it because of how stupid it is. So, a few months ago, I was complaining and I was very, very mad at the fact that my new audio interface, the Audient Evo 8, a decently popular audio interface that I just got for basically just plugging in a bunch of instruments like a synth and a guitar, just did not work properly. At least I thought it didn't work properly. The first input was just outputting static, and that's all I could hear. And I was like, well, this shouldn't be happening. So I sent out a warranty ticket, and I sent off the Audient Evo 8 for like a month, and then I got it back, and nothing changed. But funnily enough, when I plugged in my guitar jack into the guitar jack in the front, which replaces the input one, like the first audio input, which hint hint, something I should have noticed before fucking sending it to a warranty service. But uh, I just plugged in my guitar jack, and then I noticed that static was back in the input one, and I'm like, Wait, what?" And then I realized, oh, wait, what happens if I unplug the guitar jack? And magically, what do you know? There's no more static. So guess what? The entire problem was that my guitar jack was just plugged into the front. I thought I could just keep it there and it would automatically switch to the input that is actually being used. But no, it doesn't do that. I wish it did. I wish it was smart enough to do that, but it's not. And I understand why, but still, that's kind of annoying. But either way, that was still really, really dumb of me. It is my fault because, I should have just double checked before I sent it off again to a warranty service for a month. I should have just double checked that it wasn't producing static when I unplugged the guitar jack, because that guitar jack sounded very, very similar to I don't know, a guitar jack noise when you just plug it into an amp. I wonder why. I should have just instantly noticed that that was just the grounding noise from a guitar jack and not an actual preamp problem, which is again just probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done. Just sent off an audio interface for no reason. However, I wouldn't say that actually it is for no reason, because I do actually have two other issues with this audio interface, at least on this copy. So first of all, probably the biggest one is that for some reason, when I first boot up my PC, it takes a pretty decently long time, or at least I have to actively use a stereo input in order for it to balance out on its own. For some reason, when I first boot up my PC, just one of the inputs in a stereo input. So again, if I'm using a stereo input for 3 and 4 and I'm just combining those together to make a stereo input, when I just first boot on my PC, only one of those inputs will actually be at a proper volume. The other one will be very, very quiet or just straight up not registering an input until maybe a few minutes later, or when I start actually using the input actively, and then it will auto adjust the volume to, the actual stereo input volume, which is again, why? I don't know why this happens. Maybe it's because I just didn't update my firmware, so I'll double check that. I'll try updating it. But this also happened on my old PC with Windows 10. However, it might be an issue with drivers, it might be an issue with the firmware, I don't know. But again, I'll try updating the firmware, and if it isn't a firmware issue, I hope that the preamps actually don't go bad this time. This isn't me making a silly mistake. This is kind of an actual problem, because I want to use my inputs on my stereo inputs on a fucking audio interface. But anyways, yeah, that's basically it for an actual issue. I mean, there is a tiny little nitpick, which is that on my copy, the auto gain button. So basically, this green button I pointed this out, I'm pretty sure, in my other Audio Evo 8 video, but that auto gain, like adjustment button, is loose on my copies. So whenever I just move it around a little bit, it's very, very rattly because the entire body is like pretty hollow. So I can just hear that rattle throughout the entire thing, and it is kind of annoying. I mean, again, granted, it is a very, very small nitpick because I'm not going to be moving it around that much. However, it is still kind of annoying whenever I do have to move it around and I can just hear it rattling. It just sounds cheap. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't have a whole lot else to say. Again, I just made a really dumb mistake. However, again, just the inputs not automatically adjusting when I boot up my PC is pretty annoying. So if anybody else has encountered this issue, I searched it up as well a few months back, and it seems like nobody else has. So I don't know what the issue is. Again, maybe it's just my copy. Maybe I just got fucking unlucky the 10 millionth time, but I don't know. But anyways, that'll be about it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.